Hi Mamute Kids, I'm back here with another book for you. This one is called The Shih Tzu Who Knew Jiu Jitsu. It's written by Yvonne Cifuentes and illustrated by Olia Milokinia. Leo was just an ordinary Shih Tzu until he learned the art of Jiu Jitsu. This is his story. Like all Shih Tzus, Leo loved the outdoors. One day, as he was walking through his favorite park, he came face to face with a large pack of dogs who were notorious for causing trouble. Leo was frightened. All he wanted to do was go home, but the sight of the dogs gave him chills. He could barely move a muscle. "What's your name, Short Stack?" said a fierce-looking Rottweiler towering over Leo. His name was Weiler, and he was the pack leader. "I'm Leo," he said nervously. "Well, I've got news for you," said Weiler. "We're the roughs, and this is our turf. We decide who can be here." "But it's a public park, and it's my favorite place to play," said Leo. Weiler immediately advanced on Leo and pinned him to the ground. Then, narrowing his eyes and baring his sharp teeth, he growled, "This is the roughs' park. Understand?" Leo cowered beneath the Rottweiler, covering his face with his paws. A few minutes passed before Weiler let out a nasty laugh, then released him. "I'm just kidding," he said. "You should have seen your face. I tell you what, why don't you join our gang and hang with us?" Leo didn't know how to respond. He was scared to say no, but he knew that joining the roughs wasn't a good idea. Trembling with fear, he gulped, then said, "No, I don't want to be in a gang." "Oh," Weiler snickered. "You thought I was asking you. Well, you thought wrong. I'm telling you to join us." The rest of the roughs surrounded Leo threateningly, all of them looking down at the little dog. "I'll let you go this time," said Weiler. "But if we see each other again, understand this. I will make you join the gang. Now run off." When Leo returned home, he wasn't his normal cheerful self. The roughs had given him a choice: either join the gang or never visit his favorite park again. "What should I do?" he whined loudly. "I love the park, but I can't face those dogs again." Startling Leo, a voice nearby barked at him. "Hey, you over there! What are you whimpering about?" Leo peeked through his fence into the neighbor's yard and noticed a doghouse. "Stop crying," continued the voice. "I'm not crying." "Well, pretty close to it. Tell me what's wrong, and maybe I can help you." "Really?" asked Leo doubtfully. A female poodle appeared at the entrance of the doghouse. "Who are you?" asked Leo. "I've never seen you before." "My name is Bonbon," said the poodle. "I just moved here last night." Leo giggled. "What's so funny?" exclaimed Bonbon. "Oh, nothing," replied Leo. "I'd pictured someone else helping me out. It's just that I have a big problem, and I'm going to need someone a lot bigger than you to help me." Bonbon smiled and said, "Don't be fooled by my size. Looks can be deceiving. I tell you what, see that old woodpile in the back? Well, there's a hole in the fence there. Come over to my yard, then tell me about it." Leo made his way through the fence, then joined Bonbon. It was a gang of dogs. They called themselves the Roughs. The poodle laughed. "The Roughs? Are they up to no good again?" "You know them?" asked Leo. "Who doesn't know them? I've lived all over this town. Everyone knows the Roughs," said Bonbon. "Well, it was my first time meeting them," he told Bonbon. "What happened at the park, especially about how frightened he was when he refused Weiler's demand. So now that you know the whole story, do you really think you can help me?" "Of course I can help you," answered Bonbon. But let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of Jiu Jitsu? Jiu what? Asked Leo, confused. The poodle corrected him. It's pronounced Jiu Jitsu. No, I've never heard of Jiu Jitsu, said Leo. It's a gentle art of self-defense that teaches you how to protect yourself. Let me explain. Bon Bon trotted into her doghouse and rummaged around for a few minutes. She then reappeared, wearing a robe-like outfit. What's that? Asked Leo. It's a gi, said Bon Bon. It's worn by those who train jiu-jitsu. Now listen carefully. If you ever get into a situation where you have to defend yourself, there are 4 rules to remember. Rule number 1. If you can, avoid fighting at all costs. Rule number 2. If you get attacked, defend yourself. Rule number 3. You should never kick or punch an attacker. Instead, try to restrain him or her and talk it out. But how do I do that? Asked Leo. When someone attacks you, explained Bon Bon, protect your face, move forward like a rhino, grab him tightly, and take him to the ground. As Bon Bon demonstrated the self-defense moves, Leo noticed how much control the poodle had over him. No matter how hard he tried, Leo could not free himself. Now, rule number 4 is very important, so pay attention, said Bon Bon. In Jiu Jitsu, when you force your attacker to give up, it's called a submission. That hurts, yelped Leo. Well, of course it hurts, replied Bon Bon. That's why it's the most important rule. Before applying these moves, you have to talk to the attacker so that you can give him the chance to leave you alone. Oh, I see, said Leo. Jiu-jitsu seems great, but do you really think it could help someone as small as I am? Bon Bon laughed. Do you realize you're talking to a poodle? I'm not exactly big by any means. Now, come on, let's start practicing. As the weeks passed, Leo's confidence began to grow, and he became joyful again. He had learned so much about self-defense that the thought of the roughs didn't scare him anymore. Finally, the day came when he decided to visit the park again. And who did he see first? The roughs. Well, 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 said Weiler. Look who we have here. It's our old friend Shortstack. Leo didn't want any trouble, but as he tried to walk away, the roughs surrounded him. There was no escape. I've been looking for you. Are you ready to join us? Said Weiler. Leo wasn't afraid. Remembering the 4 rules of jiu-jitsu, he looked at the Rottweiler straight in the eyes. No, said Leo confidently. You're not a good dog, and I don't want to be a part of your gang. What? Growled Weiler. Nobody says no to me. I run this turf, so you will do as I say. Then, without warning, Weiler charged toward Leo. Leo quickly protected his face and made a move that caught Weiler completely off guard. The big dog struggled to break free as Leo held on to him tightly. What are you doing? Yelled Weiler. Get off me. Are you going to stop? Asked Leo. There's no need for this. I don't negotiate with anyone, said Weiler, still struggling. Especially not with someone as small as you. Well then, said Leo, you leave me no choice. Leo applied a submission just like Bon Bon had taught him, forcing Weiler to cry out, Okay, I'll stop. The roughs couldn't believe their eyes. Their fearless leader had been defeated. I don't understand, said a stunned Weiler. It happened so fast, and you didn't even hit me. How is this possible? Leo stepped back and helped the big dog to his feet. Smiling, he replied, Weiler, welcome to the art of jiu-jitsu. As the rest of the gang looked on, Weiler spoke 2 words that no one had ever heard him say before. I'm sorry. Leo looked straight into Weiler's eyes and said, Do me a favor. Stop being a bully. Treat others the way you'd like to be treated. From that moment on, Weiler and the Ruffs had a change of heart. They wanted to learn from Leo and become better dogs. They asked him if he could teach them Jiu Jitsu. Leo was happy to show them what he'd learned from Bon Bon. He taught them the principles of Jiu Jitsu, when to use them, and how to apply them in a confrontation. The dogs soon became best of friends as they spent their days practicing Jiu Jitsu and playing together in the park. From then on, brave little Leo was forever known as the Shih Tzu who knew Jiu Jitsu. Picture of them being friends.